But again, we're going to continue your excellent football weekend by once again giving you winners. Now, quick recap. Aaron Murray thus far, consistent as the day is long. Well, that's not really good because I guess days are actually variable with like daylight savings stuff. The point is he's 8-4. Okay, 2-1 every single week. I've been something much more bad and much more volatile, from 3-0 one week to 0-3 last week. But guess what? When you hit rock bottom, there's only one way to go, Aaron Murray, and it's quite literally up. And I'm feeling good about the board this weekend. I know you are as well, as your bookie on FanDuel. I can attest to the fact that you are quite
the laziest bookie in the world. But it was
I got your point.
I shot T some picks earlier in the week, and a day later I was like, hey, by the way, did I get those picks in or not? But for being lazy, he actually saved me a couple points. So I do appreciate that. So sometimes early bird doesn't get the worm.
Yeah, being lazy or looking out for the homies, okay? Yeah. I'm seeing no, looking out for the homies. I'm seeing this board so clear, I knew the movement was coming, okay? So I purposely waited. And I was actually in the process of doing the picks when you texted me. I did not do them just because you texted me and reminded me. And by the way, the only reason I'm not really a bookie, I'm just gambling on FanDuel. Promo code SNAPS. Sign up for FanDuel if you haven't. I hope you took advantage of the same game parlay, no sweat bet they do every single week in the NFL, where you can bet a same game parlay. If it doesn't hit, you get your money back. Free bets. Pretty awesome. Okay. Let's go ahead here, Aaron Murray, and dive in. I want you to start us off. Like I said, you've been 8-4, just truly fantastic in your picks this season. Where are we going with your number one best bet of the weekend?
We're going to Ole Miss in this football game. Kentucky traveling to Ole Miss. Kentucky getting 6.5 points. Lucky for me and my great bookie, I actually got it at 7, but I still like it at 6.5 points. Look to see if that line moves at all heading into kickoff. But you look at Kentucky right now. Yes, they have had minimal success running the football, and that's kind of been their identity. That's been their MO with Coach Stoops. There is physical football, dominate the line of scrimmage. But the good news, they got Chris Rodriguez coming back. My man is fresh. He's healthy, and I think he's going to shoot a bunch of adrenaline into that offense line, and especially into that running game. Just big shot of adrenaline, T-Bob. So I like it. And then you look at last week with Ole Miss. And the defensive line looked a little bit like Swiss cheese. It was pretty piss poor. Tulsa ran 260 yards against them. Tulsa did. So
I did not.
Kentucky running the football. I like them. I like their defense. And I thought you had a pretty good stat earlier in the week on the show that Stoops has never won a game against a West team on the road during his time there at Kentucky. But good thing is I don't need him to win. I just need him to cover 6.5. And Kentucky plays close football games. They're going to run it. They're going to eat up the clock. And I just pray that my boy Will Levis doesn't turn the football over. And if he doesn't, I kind of like Kentucky to win this game at the end of the day, getting Stoops' first win on the road against a West team in the SEC. But I definitely like him with that 6.5 points. I just think they're going to be able to run it once again, eat up that clock, and keep the ball out of Ole Miss's hands.
Yeah, I mean, and to once again, and I don't know if I said that stat, but I will stolen valor it. That's a good stat on Stoops. What we did talk about earlier this week was man versus machine. This is the man versus machine bowl. Like, they are opposite, right? The machines don't like Kentucky. The AP poll does. The machines love Ole Miss. The AP poll does not as much. We're going to figure out who reigns supreme. My first best bet. We're heading to Big Ten country, and I'm taking the Fighting Illini, Illinois +7 at Wisconsin. If this feels a bit random, in many ways it kind of is. I just started thinking, and I'm looking, and something about this game kind of jumped off the board. At first, it's kind of because I'm fading Wisconsin a little bit this year. Then I start to do my Illinois research, right? And I learned about Chase Brown, currently leading the nation with 151 yards rushing per game. I look at the quarterback situation. It's basically a wash. It's pretty similar to one another. Senior quarterback for Illinois, Tommy DeVito, been pretty good. 9 touchdowns, 2 picks. Junior quarterback Graham Mertz for Wisconsin, pretty good. 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. And like you go through it, and basically where these teams rank in a lot of ways, they are very similar football teams that want to accomplish things the same way. They want to have a run first offense. And if that is the case, I will go with the player that I believe to be better in Chase Brown and the team that I believe to be slightly better to Wisconsin. Like, oh, but T-Bob, Illinois lost to Indiana. But look at how they lost. Indiana threw for 330 again. They only ran for 32. Illinois has been very good in terms of stopping the run. Or excuse me, Illinois has been very, in terms of stopping the run, not the pass. Wisconsin can't throw the ball that well. Yeah. So at the end of the day, it is Chase Brown that pushes me over the top here. And I always like to bet Brett Bielema, right? Us big guys got to stick together. But give me Illinois +7 at Wisconsin.
I like it. Big boy love always for the offensive lineman. My next best bet of the week, I'm going Texas A&M on the road. Gonna go to them Cowbells at Mississippi State. The under is 44.5, and it keeps going down. It's about 45.5 to start the week. Already down a point. I think people are starting to really realize that this is going to be a defensive struggle, but I still like it at that 44.5. I'm hoping it doesn't go any lower than that. But for Texas A&M, no wideouts. It's an issue. Your top receiver heading into this game is Evan Stewart, a true freshman. That's not good. I haven't really seen anyone step up there. And obviously, as we know, Anaya Smith is out of this ball game, out for the season. And this is an offense for A&M that doesn't have an identity, that has struggled to move the football. And you look at Mississippi State. What does Mississippi State do well? So if A&M can't pass it, they're going to obviously try to run the football. And I do love what A-Chain did last week. You saw him run between the tackles a little bit more, but Mississippi State's big, man. Like, they are some thick jokers in that front six. Like, they struggle to get after the passer at times, but they can stop the run. That's what they do. Yep. So I don't see A&M obviously having the weapons to throw it. I don't think they're going to be able to run it. Mississippi State has some long corners too. Like, all of them are 6'3", 6'4". They can handle Evan Stewart on the outside. So I think Mississippi State defensively at home with them Cowbells against a lesser A&M offense is going to have their way. Flip it over. A&M has been really impressive on defense. Been absolutely tremendous on defense. True. They run a 3-2-6. 3 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 6 DBs. What does Mississippi State want to do? They want to do 10 personnel. So 4 receivers, 1 back. They want to spread you out. They want to throw it. Well, that's perfect for what A&M does. They're going to continue to drop 8. They got some really good guys on the back end. I think they're going to be able to slow down this passing attack for Mississippi State. I see this game being somewhere like 21-14 in that range. Low scoring, defensive struggle. I think 2 of the better defenses in the SEC. And let's not forget, too, Mississippi State's really struggled protecting Will Rogers. Their tackles, not very good. Go back 2 weeks ago versus LSU. A&M can get after the passer as well. So going to be a slug-it-out game, protect the football type of game, and I think a low-scoring game. So look at that under.
Yeah, I mean, and A&M unders have been pretty lucrative this year if you have consistently played them. You know, I don't normally play a lot of over-unders, Aaron, but when I was, again, scanning the board, looking at things like just waiting to see like a holy man looking for inspiration, what was going to jump off of the page. Something that jumped off of the page to me was Purdue at Minnesota over 51.5. Now, 51.5, it's not the biggest number, it's not the smallest number, but if you look this season, right now, very quietly, PJ Fleck and this Minnesota Golden Gopher team are averaging 40 points a game against, and by the way, all the numbers I give here are going to be against FBS opponents only, all cupcakes taken out of it. Minnesota's averaging 40 a game. Purdue is averaging 29 a game. And granted, Minnesota's only giving up 5 points. I mean, they beat the shit out of Colorado and Michigan State. They're only giving up 5, but Purdue's giving up 31. And then you go a step further, and you're like, wow, Tanner McGee is the Minnesota quarterback. How long has he been there? Who does he remind you of? Sean Clifford. Okay, Sean Clifford's 24, Tanner McGee, 23. Clifford put up 35 against this Purdue defense. Minnesota's going to roll. They're going to score a lot. Purdue is going to score more than anybody yet has this season against Minnesota. And while I think Fleck and company win at home, I love the over 51.5. And plus, because it's an over, instead of feeling like, you're trying to hold sand as it falls out of your hand, you get to just cheer for flat out offense, dude. So give me the over, Purdue at Minnesota, over 51.5.
Yeah, Purdue's offense, they have the ability to score points. I love their quarterback.
Exactly.
And just FYI, my boy T-Bob, it's Tanner Morgan, not Tanner McGee. So
What'd I say?
Okay,
So earlier when I did a Google search, I literally Googled Tanner McGee and a politician showed up. I was like, who the hell is this guy? And then I looked it up and I wrote and I figured out it was Tanner Morgan, but I'm seeing now I kept it on my notes as Tanner McGee. Aaron Murray, third best bet of the week.
All right, my third best bet of the week. I'm going to your Tigers, T-Bob, who are playing some of the best football in the SEC right now. Yeah, you show off that damn jersey because you guys deserve it right now. Going on the road to face the lesser Tigers there in Auburn. Right now, it's a crap show. Brian Harsin, the guys know it. Everyone knows it. I don't think it's going to happen this season during the year, because they don't have a guy on staff that could take over. But it's going to happen after the year. And those kids aren't idiots. They know their coach is going bye-bye after the season. They know their schedule's only going to get tougher. I just don't see a lot of excitement right now for that football team. TJ Finley, former quarterback at LSU, is going to be a nice story. Him get to play his whole team. That ain't happening. Grade 2 AC sprain in his shoulder. Robbie Ashford is starting once again. My man does not want to throw the football. Great athlete, but if you're going to be one-dimensional, you're going to get broken in half, my friend. So let's talk some good about the LSU Tigers, the good Tigers, playing incredible defense right now. Ball hawking secondary. I mean, those guys on the back end have been just a incredible to watch. You get BJ Ojolari back in the defensive line. You get some other guys going on that side as well. And then offensively, Jaden is just getting better and better every single week. Kayshawn is back, took last week off, birth of his new child, or his first child, excuse me. So right now, LSU's feeling like they belong. They're looking like the team I thought they could be. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now. So I think they go on the road to Auburn. I think they beat them by double digits. Like, I think this thing could get pretty ugly for them Auburn Tigers.
So what you're saying,
give me that
Murray,
8.5 points. 8.5 points for LSU. Take it.
So it was not dumb of me, after losing the biggest bet I've ever placed in my life on LSU to beat Florida State and cover. It wasn't dumb of me to place the second biggest bet I've ever placed in my life on LSU minus 7.5. Let's go, dude. All right, I'm in.
If they don't cover and you screw up my 3-0 weekend,
hey, dude, what are you gonna do?
You can never bet. You can never bet on LSU again. So
trust me, if they don't cover, no one is going to be more pissed than me on multiple fronts, because there is no excuse. This is a bad Auburn team, and Robbie Ashford is like, if Matt House could hold Will Rogers to one touchdown when he's thrown 15 in the other 3 games, I have to imagine he could put together a game plan to stop Robbie Ashford in this Auburn Tiger attack. Okay, Aaron, speaking of burning your hand once again, you know what ruined your 3-0 weekend last weekend? Le Petit Trojan Boys, USC versus Oregon State. We knew it was stinky. Vegas told us it was stinky. We rode with the Trojans anyway. And unfortunately, we were proven wrong. They did not cover. Get the win, which we love, but did not cover. And you may say, man, let's stay away from USC for a little bit. What a betrayal for them not to cover in Corvallis. But guess what? All that means, that burning of my hand when I touch that hot pot, all that means is that the nerve endings have died and I can go burn myself all over again, because I'm going back to the well. Give me the Trojans minus 25.5. Arizona State at USC. First off, Trojans at home. Second off, Caleb Williams in the offense, pissed about how they got shut down last week. Thirdly, a defense that is gaining in confidence against FBS opponents this year. USC is averaging 42, giving up 18. Arizona State is averaging 17, giving up 32. Okay. I am not. And look. There is definite concern about the long-term viability of USC's defense. Like, they're like Iowa's defense from last year. The turnover rate is unsustainable. And what do they look like when that starts to peter out? The only thing is, this Arizona State offense is garbage. Second to last in the Pac-12 in both rush yards per game and pass yards per game. Only 17 per. Like, this is not the offense that is going to expose that USC defense. So, no, give me the Trojans at home minus the 25.5. Big number, but I think they covered him. I think they cover easily. Fight on. And there
Fight
it is.
on, Trojans. That's
it, baby.
That's our boys. That's our boys. That's our boys. Let's go.
There it is. Another edition of Snaps Fridays. Best bets to get you ready for the weekend. Aaron, any bonus plays this week for you?
No, I'm gonna stick with those three. I feel pretty good about those. I know so we'll go back last week. Last week you weren't really feeling the board. You went 0-3.
Yeah.
This week I wasn't feeling the board, so I'm hoping that I don't shit the bed like you did. So fingers
relax.
crossed. I feel pretty good about these three. I feel pretty.
We should be entering this thing arm in arm, united. I have put money on all the same games that you have bet. So here we're going 6-0 this weekend,
Let's
guys.
go.
Get ready. We're gonna celebrate on Snaps After Dark tomorrow night. So come back and hang out with us into the college football day. We always recap it. It's gonna be so much fun. Aaron, again, you did a great job last night of the call. And we will see you for a little Snaps After Dark. Shout out FanDuel and the volume.